The effect of what Adana and Ifeoma did to Ndidi was indeed very severe. The sores were so big and painful, it made Ndidi sick and also landed her in the herbalist huts. Whenever Ndidi makes a pot of soup at night, they would dip their hands into the pot of soup so it would go sour by morning, or sometimes they would eat all the meat in the pot of soup and replace them with stones. Once upon a time, there were two sisters whose names were Adana and Ifeoma. Adana is the older of the two sisters. Adana is 16 years old and Ifeoma is 13. Adana and Ifeoma lives with their father Uchina. Their mother died as a result of a brief illness when Adana was 7 and Ifeoma was 4. And since then, their father had taken care of them all by himself. Uchina remained unmarried for many years after his wife's death because he loved her so much and it was difficult for him to love another. Also, he was worried that if he got a new wife, his new wife may not treat his daughters well. So, he dismissed every advice from his family and friends as regards marrying again. But now, Uchina felt really lonely. It has been a long time, and so he longed for and desired the company and bosom of a woman. Moreover, he had recently met Ndidi, and the way he feels about her grows stronger by the day. Ndidi is a young woman who is 28 years old. Ndidi had recently moved to Uchina's village with her widowed mother. Actually, Ndidi's mother is also from the village and had been in her husband's village after she got married to her husband for many years, until the farmlands which her late husband had left for her and Ndidi were destroyed by foreign invaders, which has now made her run back with her daughter Ndidi to her own maiden village. After moving to the village, Ndidi and her mother started selling fish and vegetables in a small stall they got in the markets. 2 stalls away from Ndidi's stall stand was Uchina's stall. Uchina sells wooden cooking utensils. It is in the market Uchina met Ndidi and they became friends. Ndidi was liked by many and not only Uchina because she was friendly and spoke nicely to everyone. As the month progresses into years, Uchina grew fond of Ndidi and would spend any free time he does not have customers in his stall to have a small chat with Ndidi. One day, after thinking about his decision for days and all through the night before that morning, Uchina asked Ndidi to marry him. Ndidi agreed to be Uchina's wife as she also likes and admires him. After all, Uchina was a good man too, and the whole village says it. Uchina was very happy Ndidi accepted to marry him. So that evening, when he returned home from the market, he called his daughters to inform them that he would be getting married soon. You know, since we lost your mother many years ago, it has been just the 3 of us. I know that it is the gods who have helped us stay together in our trying moments. You can also attest to the fact that I have tried by being unmarried till this time. But now, I think I need the comfort and support of a wife. And I am sure that you girls also need the comfort and support of a mother. So, I have called you here this evening to let you know that I will be taking a wife again, Uchina said to his daughters. Oh wow, father! It is Auntie Noye, right? Adana and Ifeoma chorused. Noye, Auntie Noye, as Adana and Ifeoma fondly calls her, is Uchina's neighbor. Uchina and Noye became neighbors when she moved to the vacant apartment close to Uchina's house 4 years after the death of Adana and Ifeoma's mother. Since then, she had been a good neighbor. She would check on Uchina and his daughters from time to time. She bonded with Adana and Ifeoma so well as she would always weave their hair, bought gifts for them, and take food to them. Sometimes, she even went as far as watching their clothes, which Uchina had oftentimes asked her not to do. It was obvious to everyone around that Noye likes Uchina, and that was why she do all she does for Adana and Ifeoma. As a matter of fact, and on many occasions, She had subtly given signs to Uchina to show this, yet Uchina was never interested in her and has told her so, but Nonye would not relent. She started taking food to Uchina in the market, and when she would not stop despite how much Uchina had asked her to, he gave away the food to his friend and neighbor in the market, Ugo, who was a glutton. Adana and Ifeoma liked Nonye so much and had also wished that their father would marry her someday. So, that was why Adana and Ifeoma had excitedly asked if it was Auntie Nonye when their father said he was going to get married again. "No, it is not Nonye. I have told you to stop talking about Nonye. I am not interested in her," Uchina told his daughters. "Who then?" Adana and Ifeoma asked. "It is Ndidi," Uchina replied. Adana and Ifeoma knows Ndidi. They have seen their father on numerous occasions talking with her in the market. She had even visited their home twice when she had offered to deliver some soup items herself to Uchina's house. Adana and Ifeoma had seen that Ndidi was winning their father's heart instead of Nonye, whom they like, and so they do not like Ndidi. "Father, you can't marry her. It is Auntie Nonye we want," they protested. Well, Uchina, knowing that his daughters are only being childish, ignored them and went ahead to marry Ndidi. Now, Ndidi, after moving into her husband's house, did everything to make her stepdaughters like and accept her. However, despite how nice she was to them and how much effort she puts, Adana and Ifeoma would not accept her. Adana and Ifeoma resorted to mischievous acts to frustrate Ndidi. Whenever Ndidi makes a pot of soup at night, they would dip their hands into the pot of soup so it would go sour by morning, or sometimes they would eat all the meat in the pot of soup and replace them with stones. Also, whenever Ndidi washes some clothes and spreads on the line out to be dried, Adana and Ifeoma would pour dirty water on the clothes while they are on the line, or sometimes it would even be red oil. Usually, when they do this, Nonye, being their neighbor, would see them from her window and would only laugh. Good for her. She just came from nowhere to enjoy where I have been laboring all these years just like that, Nonye would say. Obviously, Nonye was also not happy about Uchina and Ndidi's marriage, and so she rejected the hand of friendship Ndidi had offered to her when she moved to the house. Adana and Ifeoma's mischievous deeds towards their stepmother continued for a very long time, and Ndidi endured and bare it all and never spoke about it to Uchina. She would always make a fresh pot of soup and safely keep it locked in their room during the day so she could serve her husband when he returns from work. However, she would take the pot out by evening, as leaving it in the room would make her husband suspect and have issues with his daughters, which Ndidi so much wants to avoid. However, one night, Uchina caught his daughters adding sand into the pot of soup Ndidi had prepared earlier in the evening. He was furious and so punished them by making them eat every bit of the soup they have ruined. Adana and Ifeoma, while pleading that their father forgives them, slipped and exposed themselves as they were making promises not to ruin any pot of soup and the clothes that their stepmother would watch from that day. And so, Uchina discovered that his daughters had been engaging in mischievous acts to frustrate their stepmother. He was very angry at Ndidi for covering up for them all the while, and so he disciplined them more by giving them a few whips. Adana and Ifeoma were angry about the punishment their father gave to them, and so, to punish Ndidi in return, they got a leaf which was known to cause severe itching and sores, and secretly add the juice into Ndidi's bathing water one morning. The effect of what Adana and Ifeoma did to Ndidi was indeed very severe. The sores were so big and painful, it made Ndidi sick and also landed her in the herbalist hut. Now, on that evening, Ndidi was lying sick in the herbalist hut. Adana and Ifeoma added another juice from a leaf which would cause their father to fall into a deep sleep. And then, made Noye sneak into their father's room and lie on his bed. Well, all of this, right from the leaf in Ndidi's bathing water, had all been Noye's plan. She was the one who gave Adana and Ifeoma the leaves, as she promised them that it would make Ndidi go away and help make their father marry her, which was what Adana and Ifeoma really wants. So, the next morning when Uchina woke up, he saw himself naked on the bed with Noye. Noye lied to him that he got drunk the previous night and begged her that she sleeps with him. Uchina said that it was not true and then chased Noye out of his room. Anyways, after Ndidi left the herbalist hut days later, she was advised to remain in her mother's place until she fully recovers. And so, Ndidi stayed in her mother's place for 1 month. On the day Ndidi returned to her matrimonial home, she met Noye's mother and some uncles of hers who were in Uchina's house and had accused Uchina of impregnating her and demanded that Uchina marries her for putting her in the family way. Uchina denied ever having anything to do with Noye. However, his daughters Adana and Ifeoma testified that Uchina had spent a night with Noye whilst Ndidi was away. And so, after the issue was taken to the elders of the village, and because of Adana and Ifeoma's testimony, Uchina was asked to do right by marrying Noye for putting her in the family way. So, Uchina married Noye as his second wife. Adana and Ifeoma were very, very happy about this. A week after that, Uchina was about to eat his lunch, which Ndidi had served him one afternoon. But before he could take the first bites, Ifeoma rushed in and begged her father not to eat the food. She claimed that she saw Ndidi poison the food and also heard her saying that she would kill him for taking a second wife. Ndidi denied Ifeoma's allegation, but then there was doubt and fear on Uchina's face. So, to confirm if it was true, he took the food and gave it to one of his goats. And immediately the goat ate the food, it started bleating in pains and died immediately. Uchina was disappointed with Ndidi and so he sent her packing from his house. Again, all of this was Adana, Ifeoma and Noye's plan. Adana and Ifeoma were happy to have finally sent Ndidi away and was now ready to enjoy life with Noye, their new stepmother. However, they got the shock of their life and realized too late that they had messed up when Noye's attitude towards them changed. Noye started treating them like maids and gave them barely enough food to eat. You girls think that I would allow you get comfortable so that you would misbehave with me in future, just as you did with Ndidi, eh? You girls, you lie. I will bend you girls so that you won't ever grow wings if the thought to ever disobey me ever crosses your mind, Noye said to them. And that was when Adana and Ifeoma realized that they were wrong to have thought that Noye was a good person because she had showered them with gifts. They also realized that she was only interested in marrying their father and had used them as her pawns. They regretted all they did to Ndidi and how they were responsible for making their father send Ndidi away. They decided to confess to their father about everything, but alas, they were too late as they realized that Noye had charmed their father as he began to act like one who could not think straight again. He dismissed Adana and Ifeoma and said that he loves Noye so much. Adana and Ifeoma knew that their father never liked Noye and how reluctant and sad he was after being forced to marry Noye, and so this was what made them know that their father had been charmed. One day, unable to bear the ill treatment from Noye, and in order to save their father and also fix their wrong, Adana and Ifeoma went to the elders of the village and confessed everything to them. A medicine man was invited to neutralize the charm Noye had used on Uchina. It was also revealed that Noye's pregnancy is not owned by Uchina, but by one of her secret lovers, as Uchina never got intimate with her that night. Noye was paraded in the village and made a public spectacle of shame for 1 week. At the end, Noye could not stay in the village and she left due to shame. Adanna and Ifeoma went to Ndidi and pleaded for forgiveness and begged that she accept their father again. They realized that it was wrong for them to have hated and disliked their stepmother without getting to know her first. They now knew better, that they would have accepted the hand of peace and friendship she offered to them and would not have allowed their hate becloud their judgment. They swore to be good girls and good daughters to Ndidi. Well, Ndidi forgave them and returned home, and they all lived happily ever after. The lesson to be learned from this story is that we should never hate or dislike a person without getting to know them first. And even after getting to know them, and we think that they are bad, it is never in our place to judge or mistreat them. The end.
I hope you enjoyed the story and have learned a thing or two from it. I would love to know. Please leave a comment. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video. Bye.